the mental health stigma is still around, and even though I think there are a lot of really great resources and we've never had a better time to kind of, approach mental health in a very productive and pragmatic way, it comes down to the individual.
Sort of feels like there is something physically stopping you from doing what you want to do.
It's a bit overwhelming sometimes, like you feel like you're juggling balls up in the air, at any point you're just all gonna fall on the ground.
It's increased how much anxiety I feel, because going into university and trying to meet deadlines and trying to keep on track of everything going on, it's a lot.
You always have something going on in the background that kind of distracts you and sometimes slows you down. Maybe slows down your bit of creativity and you end up maybe procrastinating sometimes.
A lot of the time when students are either performing not to the standard that they would wish to in their academic studies, it's due to external factors.
You sort of tend to sometimes bottle up everything inside and you don't really want to share your feelings and go out and go, oh, I've got a problem,
Obviously, the question comes down to whether they feel that they're able to be open with themselves and have that awareness in themselves. As long as they can make that connection, just being able to make sure that those stepping stones are available for students to then make sure that they can go down the correct path is the most important thing.
Sometimes people do suffer in silence. They want help, but they themselves the worst enemy. They find it difficult to reach out, to go, oh, I need help. They're just keeping it bottled up inside.
Before social media, there's a big stigma about it, and now that social media is around, there's a lot more being posted about it, there's a lot more people being open with it, and no one's really shying away from conversation about it. Definitely helping people to open up and seek help as well.
It's a kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, I think it can be a useful tool, social media. You can reach out.
There's a lot of posts about reaching out for help. There's a lot of mental health charities that have their own social media site, accounts that they post resources on for people to use.
I think there's more resources there available for young people than there ever has been.
It's all kind of a lot of information that's unfiltered, and if you haven't got a clear guidance, on whatever the help you're looking for, it can be overwhelming because there's so much information out there. You just feel like you drown in the ocean. It's unfiltered. It's anything. It's left. It's right. It's middle. It's a lot.
When I first started dealing with it, I felt like I was the only one. I felt like it was just something that I had to deal with by myself because there was no one else talking about it. And then going onto social media, you find that there's a lot of people dealing with pretty much the exact same thing that you're going through, and you get to not even interacting, just seeing their posts is a lot more helpful to know that you're not alone in it all. There is somebody else who's going through the same thing as you are, and it's not something that you've got to be ashamed about. It's not something that you've got to hide. I'd like to see more helplines. I mean, there's a long waiting list to even see a counsellor at the minute, especially. So it's a lot harder to actually get somebody to help professionally.
It's one thing to just be able to signpost a student to somewhere where they can get support. There's another one having somebody trained on site to then be able to administer that kind of support.
I think if there's more sort of awareness created within the university.
Ultimately, it comes down to promoting a really safe and open environment on campus.
As far as universities, definitely having more people who are open to talk about it, maybe having groups of people, students, that could get together and help each other maybe.